Thomas, don't. He'll kill you.
I loved you and you lied to me. Both of you. You betrayed me.
What do you want from me, Ray?
I want justice.
Oh my God.
Hello and welcome to my review of Call of Juarez Bound in Blood for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Call of Juarez Bound in Blood is a prequel to Call of Juarez, a game that was released about 2 years ago. It's a Western-themed first-person shooter following two brothers, Thomas and Ray Magruder, whose house was burned to the ground by the North in the Civil War, so they're out to find the gold of Juarez. Now, the storyline really isn't all that good. It's got a lot of cliches to the storyline, but what's really great about the storyline in the game, however, are the characters. Specifically, the three brothers. I forget the third brother's name, but the two main brothers, Thomas and Ray. Their dialogue, their exchanges with each other are really, really well done. And it's got a really dramatic feel to the game. And it does feel like a great spaghetti western. The dialogue really does make the game storyline worth playing because the interactions between the brothers are really fantastic. There's a lot of wit, there's some humor to the game, and it does feel very authentic. Now, the game's primary focus, of course, you'll be playing as one of the two brothers, and for the most part of the game, you can actually choose which brother to play in each level, giving the game a bit of replayability. But before we get to the gameplay section, let's talk about the graphics. The graphics to the game are fairly well done. This game uses the Source engine, which of course powered Half-Life 2 and Counter-Strike Source. It's a very good engine. It's just a bit old. However, they did revamp it quite a bit in this game. The physics are very nice, and the graphics, for the most part, do look good. Some of the textures look a bit blurry, but overall, it's a very nice-looking game. The animations also look very, very good. The reloading animations are quite nice, as are the death animations. Now, the gameplay is actually a lot of fun in this game, and let's break it down. There's about two different forms of gameplay throughout: platforming and shooting. Platforming will mainly be done as Thomas. Thomas is a character who will use rifles and basically do more long-range things. He can, of course, use a pistol as well. He may also use knives for stealth. Now, this character does a lot of platforming because he has a lasso, and he can climb certain things. He's the more nimble of the two brothers. He's also the one of the younger ones. So he will be able to climb certain objects, making him a platforming character. Whereas Ray, the other brother, he uses mostly dual-wield pistols, and he's mostly an up-close and personal kind of guy. You'll be using dual-wield pistols on the enemies and doing a lot of range of versatile attacks with him, but he cannot do a lot of platforming at all. So each of the characters do play quite differently, even in combat. Whereas Ray can use two pistols, Thomas will be using rifles a lot more, and he's a lot more accurate at long range. So the characters do feel quite differently, giving you incentive, as I said before, to play the game a second time as a different character. Now, what's also cool in the game is the two brothers have special moves that they can pull off after shooting enough enemies. They enter into concentration mode, is what it's called. Ray can use to move the cursor over enemies on different positions, as seen in the gameplay footage, and can shoot in pinpoint accuracy the targets that are made with the cursor. This works quite nicely and is really satisfying to see pulled off and can really get you out of a tight bind. Thomas's special move, concentration move, is he can fan his pistol quickly, pulling off a series of 6 headshots most of the time if you're good enough and don't fan it properly. Rather. So each of the special moves are, again, very diverse and differently, but both characters also have cooperative shooting mode where the game will slow down. You'll be able to aim each pistol individually and pull off some really, really precise shots. This is a lot of fun to do, and it's really satisfying. Basically, the game boils down to, this is, again, like Call of Juarez, it's a sleeper-type hit game. It's got some really satisfying combat, a lot of fun platforming, and the game as a whole is just a lot of fun to play. And it's also nice to see a change of pace, and instead of these military or sci-fi themed first-person shooters to see just a good old-school Western-themed game. Some people may be turned off by the fact that the shooting is a little slower paced because of the type of weapons you're using, but I think that the combat is extremely satisfying and a lot of fun to play. So if you're looking for something different, or you're just looking for a really solid first-person shooter, there's a lot to like about Call of Juarez Bound in Blood. Call of Juarez Bound in Blood gets a 4 out of 5. Thank you for watching my review. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more reviews.
You have your orders. If you choose to disregard them, you will be charged as deserters.
Are you threatening me?
It ain't a threat, McCall. It's a promise.
You tell Colonel Barnsby that we're taking leave to defend our family's homestead. And that we held the line.
Right, now get the hell out of here before I take your firearm and shove it where the sun don't shine.